How do I get my husband to set boundaries with his mom who doesn't respect us?
Stop sleeping with him. You gotta find his you gotta find his pain threshold. You gotta find his pain threshold. He's like, my mom's causing me pain. Well, we could squeeze this vice from both sides. So it's no Nook in November. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you right now, that'll work. But at the end of the day, it's like, I would say as a man, you've got to ask, is my first loyalty to my mother or to my wife?
Uh-huh.
And if you can't answer that question quickly and correctly, you've got a crisis.
It's a terrible example for your kids. It's a really bad precedent, and it needs to be dealt with.
And so within that too, it's like at this point, this is where if it's ongoing and the mothers, some guys are mama's boys. And, Jesus loved his mother without being a mama's boy. So I'm not saying I love my mom. Like my mom's, my mom's great. But on the cross, Jesus looks at John while he's dying. He's like, take care of my mom. Well, that's a guy, he's dying. And what is he thinking about? His mom. He loves his mom, but he's not a mama's boy. So you can love your mom without being a mama's boy. But if a guy is a mama's boy, at some point, the wife is in an impossible situation. Because she never gets to be the number one lady in his life.
Yeah, 100%. One of the most viral clips we have, you said, date your wife before someone else does. How would you apply that to the holiday season, family, mothers-in-laws, all the priorities?
It's an issue of priorities. And once you get married, your priorities change. Like, so you've got, you're married to our daughter. So like growing up, holidays come, like I'm the big man in her life. Like, hey, let's go on Christmas date. And what do you want to do with dad? Once you get married, like I've been demoted, gladly demoted. Like I am now not number one. I'm number two. Then she has her son. Now I'm in third position.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to just keep going down the ladder of like, I'm here. I love you. I serve you. I care about you. You mean the world to me. But like, if she came to me and said, Dad, you're my highest priority, I'd be like, then I failed as a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because your husband and your son should be the two first men in your life.
Yeah.
And if I'm not advocating for that, then I'm actually failing.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of dads will be like, I'm still her favorite. It's like, don't brag about that. Repent of that.
Mm.
And let her know. Because sometimes too, for a kid, let's say for a daughter, like dad saying, I love you. I care about you. You mean the world to me. You're my princess, but you're a wife now. And I celebrate that. And I launch you into that. It gives her permission to not feel guilty about walking into the covenant that God has for her and adopting the priorities that God intends for her.
Mm.
But again, a lot of this is going to sound, controversial, but a lot of this is if me and my wife aren't good, we're going to screw up other marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Because if me and my wife are good, it's like, well, I love Grace. We're close. We have a good marriage. Our kids are launching and moving on. But that's okay because I still have my best friend. I still have my covenant. I still have my wife and my bride. And we were having a good time before the kids were here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a good time after the kids are here. And while the kids are here, we're going to enjoy every moment we have.
Mm-hmm.
But our goal is to have a good marriage and to set an example of good marriage, not to have a bad marriage and have the kids make up for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to fill that gap. And they almost enter into the marriage of their kids. It just gets really, really messy.